Which choice best states the main idea of the text? The following text is adapted from Jack London's 1903 novel The Call of the Wild. Buck is a sled dog living with John Thornton in Yukon, Canada. Thornton alone held Buck. The rest of mankind was as nothing. Chance travelers might praise or pet him, but he was cold under it all, and from a too demonstrative man he would get up and walk away. When Thornton's partners Hans and Pete arrived on the long-expected raft, Buck refused to notice them till he learned they were close to Thornton. After that he tolerated them in a passive sort of way, accepting favors from them as though he favored them by accepting. So option A says Buck has become less social since he began living with Thornton. This is incorrect because the text, although it is true that Buck is not very social, and this is when he's living with Thornton, the text doesn't highlight how Buck was before he began living with Thornton, so A is incorrect. B. Buck mistrusts humans and does his best to avoid them. This is incorrect because this implies that Buck mistrusts all humans and does his best to avoid all of them, but Buck praised Thornton, and Thornton was a human, so B is incorrect. C. Buck has been especially well liked by most of Thornton's friends. This is incorrect because this is a small detail in the whole text, and although it is true, it isn't the main idea of the text. So C is incorrect. D. Buck holds Thornton in higher regard than any other person. This is correct because this is emphasized in many parts of the text, where in the beginning of the text it says Thornton alone held Buck, the rest of mankind was as nothing, and then later in the text it highlights how Buck refused to notice Thornton's partners Hans and Pete until he learned they were close to Thornton. So the text shows in many places that Buck holds Thornton in higher regard than any other person. So D is the correct answer.